Relax. It's just sports. Extra aggressive this week because what is going on? Rome is burning. Cincinnati is burning.
What is going on in the House of Commons?
Literally all the bad things. But before we get into bad things, good things, please like, subscribe, all the things. Otherwise, Taylor will get really mad at me. She's already mad at me. She's always mad at me.
Always.
Like, subscribe, all the places. Spotify, YouTube, leave a comment, Apple. It really means a lot, which everyone always says, but like it really means extra. Okay, rundown of the show. Bengals lose to the formerly winless New York Jets, which I believe Taylor said, quote, "I'm not worried about that. We don't have to talk about
I said I didn't want to talk about it. That doesn't mean that I wasn't worried about it. That meant I didn't want to talk about the Jets because they're so bad.
And if you had a law degree, you'd be a lawyer. We'll talk about that game because there is things to talk about, important things to talk about. And I was going to say fun, not really fun things to talk about if you're a Bengals fan.
Fun for Jets fan Marshall.
I care about the people I cover in the city I live in. Talk about the Bears coming up because that just became like a really big game to like, holy cow, this could be the biggest game of the year. Bearcats, positive. If you're in that Venn diagram of Bengals fans and UC fans, which there are a ton of, riding high. We'll talk about them. Gameday is going to their game. We'll talk that. The World Series, we are 1 day removed from Game 3. That's why we might look a little tired because we were up until 4 o'clock in the morning watching the game for literally no other purpose than I wanted to.
I quit in like inning, probably the 12th inning.
It's the difference between us. I tried. I fell asleep and woke back up, but I watched it. College hoops. Since you do the news.
And hell is real.
Hell is so real.
Yeah, it is.
And then we had a great soccer game.
Mm-hmm.
Hell is real. Yeah, we'll talk the first game of Hell is real. Preview the second game. And yeah.
Busy day.
Busy day.
Mm-hmm.
Today's a lot.
It is a lot.
Do we need a minute for how a lot today is?
No, it's fine. It's fine. Let's just get into what was a lot Sunday.
Yeah.
Because it was a lot. Can I ask you though, did your dad rip off his Flacco jersey to reveal a Justin Fields jersey?
No, he was upset after the game.
Was he?
Yeah, he wanted the Bengals to win.
Your like Jets fan father.
My Jets fan father, who you could go on social media, got a lot of love because he did an unboxing of his Joe Flacco jersey. He wore it proudly. Even though Fireman Ed, the Jets superfan, was just 3 sections over, he was ready to go to war with him. I was very quiet and introverted. He's the opposite of me. When a camera turns on, it changes. But yeah, no. So, no, he was upset. He wanted the Bengals to win. He also wanted the Jets to lose because of the first pick. But yeah, that game was as bad as possible. Like, I think that loss is worse than the Vikings loss, than the Lions loss, than the Packers loss, and the Broncos loss. Because even though they were not blown out, in the last 25 years, the New York Jets have had over 500 yards of total offense twice. Yesterday and against the Bengals in the Mike White game. That's not great.
No.
39-38, you lose that game?
Yeah.
And Jamar Chase said it best. He was like, this game should have been over. Twice. They were up by 2 scores the entire game. All the Jets needed to do was make a stop and score.
The Bengals.
No, all the Jets needed to do was make a stop and score, and they did that.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have been able to be in that position.
Yeah, I know you said all they needed to do. And to me, as someone, of course, who has Justin Fields in fantasy, unfortunately, I was like, all they need to do is that. Like, I was like, this isn't going to happen. There's no way they're going to be able to do this.
Then we've been watching 2 different Bengals defenses.
It wasn't about the Bengals defense and more so about the Jets offense. I was a little suspicious, but I wanted to ask you, because you were there. I watched on TV. TV doesn't really get across the crowd as much. I mean, in the Lions game, you could hear them booing, but you didn't really hear any noise until maybe the last drive. Were the fans really in it, or were they kind of like, wow, we've got this one wrapped up? Who cares?
I think it was like pretty like they were having fun watching the offense. I felt a creep of nervousness in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And I did not feel easy that entire game watching it. I'm like, this is still a game.
Mm-hmm.
This is fully still. You know when I realized truthfully when it was still a game? Like, I mean, like toward the end, but like when I was like, this isn't, I have a lot of friends in the New York media, Jets reporters. And I was talking to them in the little dining area for the media, and they're like, "Oh, you guys are gonna whoop us," and I was like, "I think this is gonna be a really good game." Um, Honestly, when the Nick Mangold thing, when it was announced, Nick Mangold, future Hall of Famer, his numbers retired with the Jets. He tragically passed away the night before. They announced it the morning of. Now they got something to play for. Mangold was a guy who was like very around the Jets facility. So like all those guys were playing for Nick Mangold.
Yeah. Well, and I also think like Justin Fields' revenge game against his own team-esque vibes, where he was like, I need to show out against my literal owner.
All the things.
There was a lot going for them.
And they're like, I think, anyway, the other reporters were like, "Oh, you guys got this." Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It was actually a woman. I don't know, woman. So yeah, it wasn't good. When the Bengals went down and had to settle for a field goal on the first drive, the Jets defense is bad, and they were without their. That was the other thing. The Jets were out the two best players.
Mm-hmm.
They were without Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner was supposed to be at the UC Bearcats game on Saturday, but because he was in concussion protocol, he could not be.
Mm-hmm.
And Garrett Wilson, the former Ohio State superstar wide receiver, both of them didn't play. We could play a game. Name me a wide receiver on the Jets that played.
I mean, technically I can, due to the fact that once again I had Justin Fields, so I was like, please pass the ball. But no, I understand what you're saying. They had nobody.
Breece Hall, the running back for the Jets going into the game, told Aaron Glenn, "Give me the ball 25 times because there's basically no one else on this offense."
He said, "Let me pass it even."
Okay, that ball, I'm going to tell you from watching the Jets for 29 years, that ball that Breece Hall threw for the game-winning touchdown to Mason Taylor, 11 out of 10 times when the Jets run that play, that ball is intercepted.
Yeah.
He tried to throw it away.
Yeah.
Just terrible coverage by the Bengals.
Yeah. I mean, it felt like it was in the air for like 20 minutes.
They're like, Mason Taylor mossed him. No, Mason Taylor just jumped and nobody else wanted the football. Yeah, so the Jets, okay. The one positive I will take from this Bengals game, the offense is electric. I think Joe Flacco runs the Bengals offense just as well as Joe Burrow, if not better. I'm not saying he's as good as Joe Burrow, but he runs the offense just as well.
Yeah.
I thought the offense looked great. The last 3 drives, I know, they're like, "Oh, we should have scored another." You score 38 points, you win the football game. I ain't buying that. You seem soured on that. You think they should have scored at the end?
I think that if you have 1:30 and 3 timeouts, you should be able to at least get a field goal.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. But I'm not mad about that.
No, I'm pretty mad about it. I would say I'm mad about it.
Why are you mad about it?
Just because I think that Zach Taylor, once again, just proving his haters right. Like Zach Taylor, it's like you try to give him as many chances as possible. You're watching it. You're like, maybe this time he'll use his 3 timeouts and think about what he's doing. And then what does he do? Run it 2nd and 10, waste 35 seconds.
Okay, now we talk too much football, like ball. But what was going on there is they were running a double-double. So Jamar Chase and T. Higgins were both double-teamed pretty much the entire time.
Which is like, duh. Like, that's going to happen every time you're in a 2-minute offense where you need to score.
It doesn't always, but...
At the end of games, yes, it will. They just haven't been in that situation.
Fair, but in previous years, it's not always a thing.
Sure.
They're like, let someone else beat you. And they didn't.
Yeah, but I think when someone says, let someone else beat you, you don't run Samaje Perine 2nd and
I disagree with the run.
But also, I think even outside of the run, it's like they had another run where I'm not mad about the run. It was a good run that they ended up getting a first down on. Then he never called a timeout. You're wasting 35 seconds in minute 30.
I hear the game manager, and I hear that, and I empathize with it. That's not why they lost the game.
I mean,
defense is why they lost the game. The defense stinks.
But I'm saying, over and over again, we talk about this is last year too. No Joe Flacco, Joe Burrow. This offense is great. This offense says all these great things, but then they lose because the defense keeps giving stuff up. Okay, at this point, I get that. I know that. The defense sucks. We all know the defense sucks. Zach Taylor said the defense sucks, basically. We all understand that. But at the end of the game, if you can still win by letting Evan McPherson, who just kicked a 67-yarder?
No, Evan McPherson's, yeah.
I'm all you have to do is get halfway
I just don't think it's fair to be on the offense at the end of that game.
I'm not mad at the offense. I'm mad at Zach Taylor.
I don't like to talk about people having to lose jobs. Mm-hmm. I don't, but if you're going to tell me there's someone who has to lose a job, I don't think it's Zach Taylor. I think it's Duke Tobin, the director of player personnel, the de facto general manager. But I take it back because I don't think Duke Tobin should lose his job because at the end of the day, Mike Brown's making the final call. So, like, I don't know how much, I'm not in that room. I don't know how much flexibility he has. I don't know how that marriage between Zach and Duke is doing right now. But on that defense, out of the starters, there's maybe 3 or 4 guys who should be in the NFL. Forget start. And yeah, there's rookies, but you're relying on rookies too much.
I was going to say, yeah, it's just a lot.
And Zach talked about that. Zach said, like, our rookies are gaining experience. Now's not the time to gain experience. You gain experience when you're 4-1, 5-1. You don't gain experience when you're fighting for your playoff lives in week 8.
Listen, I don't disagree with any of that. I just think, like, a big hit on some major great coaches over the years has been game management, clock management, time management. And I feel like Zach Taylor has skated by that conversation when actually he's had some terrible game management at the end of many games. And this just this was like the ultimate, like, oh my gosh, they're going to lose to the winless Jets because you can't get to the, like, 45 for Evan McPherson.
I hear you. It's not why they lost the game. It's not. I will stand on that in any sport. It's easy to point to the final drive.
You lose a game for many reasons, and I think, like, everyone's like, the defense sucks. And once again, I agree, defense sucks. That is one of the reasons you lost. But I think another reason that's just as important to me is that final drive.
I disagree with you. Didn't help, but, like, I'm curious how much. So Joe Flacco went to the locker room and came back with a shoulder. They swear, or they claim, I won't say they swear, but they said that the shoulder had nothing to do with it. Maybe that's why he ran the ball there?
I don't think
so. I don't know.
And once again, even if you do run the ball, Samaje Perine is not maybe the person that I'm trying to run with at this time in my life.
Samaje had 94 rushing yards and a couple big ones.
But if game's on the line, I think I'm putting Chase Brown on.
I'm with you. I hear you. There's nothing anyone can say to convince me that you score 38 points, you win the football game.
Yeah.
That's it. Period. I get it. End of statement.
I get it, but I'm just like, there are so many levels to this. And one of the levels that seems to be...
There's so many levels to it. To me, it's like, make a play on 3rd down. Stop somebody.
No, I mean levels as in, like, who did they draft? Who did they acquire? So, like, yes, Duke Tobin perhaps is a problem.
And to Duke Tobin's defense...
Who's telling them to get those people, too?
Who's telling them to get those people? Mike Brown. And from what I believe, because there's no one in those rooms, and even further than that, they have the smallest recruiting department, scouting department, rather, in the NFL.
Yeah. So I'm like, there's a lot of levels to this, but
Which comes back to Mike Brown.
But I think that one level that we just will constantly skip over because something else happens is that Zach Taylor has bad game management. It's happened often. It's not just.
I know that's the trope, and I hear that. I'm fine with people believing that until he proves it otherwise. That's not why they lost. It's just not. But I hear why you think that.
Now, after the game, I don't think he did talk. Did he talk too much about the play calling decisions at the end?
He was asked about it, but he was basically like, "That's not what."
Yeah, sure. But he did talk about the defense.
He talked, okay, so I think it's getting a little misconstrued. Yes, he talked about the defense. He also said someone needs to step up. And if you listen to what he said someone needs to step up. It was clearly about the defense, and that was his message to the team in the locker room. Afterwards, I heard him screaming through the locker room. Like, he was loud. He was angry.
Yeah.
Screaming. Couldn't make out what he said, but I heard the screaming. He came in and he said, unacceptable, humbling, yada, yada, yada. Someone needs to step up. Someone needs to make a play on 3rd down. Someone needs to do this. And then he even threw in, someone needs to make the big play to get a 1st down or something like that. My point is, he threw in the offense too. So afterwards, wide receiver Jamar Chase was asked about someone on the defense needs to step up. And he's like, I play offense. So I asked him about it again, but he said, I play offense. And I said, well, Zach didn't necessarily, like, he said defense at one point, but another point he didn't. I go, he didn't necessarily just mean defense. And he goes, no comment.
Mm-hmm.
Then Joe Flacco was asked about, it was a great question. When do players in a locker room when one side of the ball is doing not as good ball as the other side, do players start to feel it? Or Flacco, instead of saying we're all a team, which he did say, he's like, well, yeah, you start to feel it. You
Yeah.
see it. You feel bad. You feel like you're letting people down. You just gotta not worry about, like, you just gotta play football. And Flacco gave an honest answer, and he's like, the good teams get themselves out of it, and they realize it's not one side of the ball versus the other side of the ball. But it's kind of like that. I talked to DJ Turner after the game, and I said about, what do you think about this whole defense needs to step up? And he said, I'm not going to be pointing. So we do have to step up. We all have to step up. I'm not going to point any guys out. The next day is when the juicy stuff happened in the locker room, in my opinion. Defensive players only meeting. You know when things are not good? When the defense holds a players only meeting.
I mean, when a players only meeting happens in general,
not good.
Things are bad.
Former Xavier basketball coach now at Texas, Sean Miller, I think, said it best. I asked him about a Xavier players only meeting once, and he said, I don't like them. When players only meeting, it's generally catastrophic.
Yeah.
Because not just of what's going on, but because of what are the players saying.
Yeah.
So, they got out of the players only meeting, and I spoke with Demetrius Knight, the rookie linebacker who started. And Demetrius is a smart dude, poised dude, speaks incredibly well.
Yeah. Seems really nice.
As a human being, great guy, husband, father, the whole nine. Has grinded. He was a DoorDash driver when he was in college to, like, put food on the table for his family. Like really an A1 blue collar, good human being. Not the point. I asked him about Zach's message of someone needs to step up. And he said, we have leaders. So like they take it pridefully, but we have leaders in that locker room. And he said it a few times, but then when I asked it, he named Trey Hendrickson, Logan Wilson, PJ Hill, a few other guys. But the first two guys he named are both captains. Trey Hendrickson famously held out and is in a contract dispute still.
And requested a trade. But
requested a trade. Logan Wilson, benched, requested a trade. So the first...
Requested a trade like 2 days before the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now we're talking about your two leaders that this rookie is looking up to. And I think Demetrius Knight is a leader. Even though he's a rookie. He's an older rookie, but he's a leader. The first two names, and I think Logan Wilson's a great leader. I think Trey Hendrickson leads by example. The first two names are guys who don't want to be there.
Yeah, it's rough.
That's sus.
Yeah.
That's sus.
I know. I heard him say that, and I was like, not sure that Logan 2 days after saying he would leave.
After he was
great.
bench, and now he was like taking special teams.
Yeah, I'm not sure that that's the greatest option, just because if anybody's in that position, you're in a bad place.
And to be fair, when these guys request trades, they don't always mean request trade. Like, they'd be open to it, but I think it's more of a negotiating tactic.
It's more of a making a statement.
Yes, that's a better way to put it. But you don't request a trade and say, I like two of your let's put that in perspective. In 6 months, I remember asking Al Golden, the Bengals defensive coordinator, Zach Taylor in the offseason, who are the leaders on this defense going into the year? And they said they'll emerge. Well, the two that emerged both don't want to be here.
Yeah.
That's bad. So, worried about that. But as chaotic and toxic as it looks like on that side of the ball, I saw something in the locker room that I loved. Andre Yosebas dropped a bad ball at the end of the game. It could have really set them up to win. I don't think it's Andre's fault they lost. I think it's the defense's fault. I've made that clear. However,
it sounds like you're like, I don't blame this player. I am blaming these players.
I want to be clear. I think not enough people talk about who gets the blame.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a team sport, but the blame is on the defense. Andre Yosebas.
I want to say that I don't subscribe to that, though. I want everyone to know I personally do not subscribe to that. I think the blame's on all of them, including Zach Taylor. So go ahead.
I disagree. It's on the defense. With that said, the defense deserves the blame. Andre Yosebas could have made a big play that would have helped the Bengals win the game. Andre, we spoke to him on Monday. I didn't get a chance on Sunday. And he said, yeah, obviously it's a tough mood in the locker room, normal. And I I wish I came up with a play. I learned from it. I flushed it. Gives all the right answers. Andre, also another great guy who speaks very well. As a real team guy. I saw Joe Flacco walk over to him. He didn't know that I saw this, but it was during the open media period, so I feel fine sharing this. And Flacco said to Andre, Andre's back was to him saying, "Hey, are you okay?" And Andre said, "Yeah, I'm okay." And then he said, "By the way, I watched that piece of film from," I'll leave the NFL team out because I don't want them to not trust me, but it was another team in the NFL. It was a play from another game that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And Flacco said, "Yeah, that was really good, right? That's basically like, that's why I sent it to you." And they were talking about a play from another game in the NFL. It could have been from this. I don't know when it was from. I know the team it was.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about how that was really good and what they could do to kind of learn from that. And I'm like, man, Joe Flacco knows he's going to need someone besides Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. And he knows that guy should be Andre Yosevich.
Especially with the tight ends.
Especially with the tight ends injury situation. And Andre, in practice, Andre is maybe the best practice player on that team.
Mm-hmm.
He's fantastic in practice. And Flacco clearly sees that. And the knock on Andre has been, not a knock, he's a late round pick, is that he developed football late. Because he was a track and field star at Princeton, and he played at Princeton. So Princeton in the Ivy League, it's not like you're facing SEC caliber defense.
Yeah.
And he was great at track and field at Princeton. So he's learning this like later. Like his football years are behind him.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a great athlete and IQ through the roof. Went to Princeton. So the fact that after he made that tough drop, that tough play by Yosevich, that Flacco goes over to him, shows confidence in him, cares about him as a human, and says, "Look how we can get better."
Mm-hmm.
And Andre being as receptive as he was, that's leadership.
Mm-hmm.
That's cohesiveness. That's the good stuff.
That's the father figure in Joe Flacco.
Yeah, that's Unc. That's the good stuff. And maybe that's happening on the defensive side of the ball, but who on that defense? No, but like for real, who on that defense would you like trust to say, "Hey, come here. I want to show you something that I think is really good and we can learn from this."
Maybe
Trey,
BJ Hill.
Yeah. I'm not saying that there's nobody, but BJ's personality, he's funny. He's very funny. He's silly, goofy, like he's good. But like, who are you going to respect that heck out of who's been there and done that? And that's so weird.
Yeah.
That's why I've been all in on the Flacco move from the jump. I think they need an Unc on the defense.
Let's find him. Let's find
That can still play.
The Eagles picked up Brandon Graham.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see if we can find our own version of Brandon Graham.
Yeah. And hopefully Trey's injury comes out to be okay, because the defense also, when he came out of the game,
everything changed.
If Trey doesn't get hurt and he stays in that game, I think they win. Mm-hmm. Because after that, the Jets just move the ball at will.
Yeah. I don't want to keep lamenting about this because we do have a big game coming.
Huge game.
Much bigger than we thought maybe a couple weeks ago. But yeah, huge game coming up against the Bears. The Bears, to me, are frauds.
The Bears are bad.
They have a 4-3 record, but if you look at those wins, they're not good wins.
I mean, they just got dog walked by the Ravens with Snoop Huntley at quarterback.
Yeah, which is insane because also the Ravens should have had Snoop Huntley the entire time.
He was a flat circle.
But
and he was on the roster, wasn't he? In the P squad?
No, yeah, and they picked
Cooper
Rush over him, and now they look like idiots for it. But the Bears are 4-3. They've beat the Saints, bad, Raiders, bad, and they had a really weird Monday night game where the Commanders turned the ball over 3 times and they beat them by 1 point.
And did Jaden play in that game?
Jaden did.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
That. Okay. Yeah.
But that's really kind of it. They haven't been great, not too good. So this is the time where the Bengals got to step up.
Yeah. And the one silver lining about all this is the AFC North stinks.
Yeah.
You could maybe win it at this point at 8-9, maybe 9-8.
That's the real interesting part. Lamar is supposed to be back. However, that win they're what, 2-6 or something like that. They're pretty terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah, they only have 2 wins, but that win was enough to still keep them in the AFC North run. So
They're
it's
in the hunt in the graphic.
The Bengals are still easily in the hunt.
The Bengals are a game and a half out of first place in the division.
Yeah.
Like, this is the gift of the last 2 years going 9-8, and 2 years ago specifically going 9-8 and missing the playoffs as the only AFC North team and finishing in dead last with an over 500 record. This year's going to be the opposite.
This year going 9-8 might win you everything.
Yes, and it can give you a home game.
That's what I'm saying. Who's to say?
So, yeah, this is huge. If you beat the Bears and you're 4, I feel like you're copy and pasting this every week, like scenarios. But if the Bengals beat the Bears and they are 4-5 going into the bye, which is totally reasonable, they do control their own destiny still.
Yeah.
You gotta beat the Bears. But I'm gonna say them. It's the same thing. I think I said it on the pod last week. If not, I said it on Sports of All Sorts. Mobile quarterbacks are bad for this Bengals defense. Caleb Williams can run.
He can, but he doesn't like to.
He likes to win, though.
Yes, he does.
And Ben Johnson likes to win.
Caleb Williams is probably the best option for this secondary that hasn't been great but can ball hunt. Like, they could get some, like, errant passes from Caleb Williams because he does like to just run and loosely throw something up in the air. If Caleb Williams just simply runs on them, they might be screwed.
Yeah. But if we know this,
they know.
Maybe the best offensive mind in the NFL and Ben Johnson, the Bears head coach.
I would argue.
One of the best offensive minds in the NFL. You don't like that because he's the former Lions OC. But he's one of the best offensive minds in the NFL. I don't know whether he has the people to work with. Rome Odunze is a really good wide receiver.
Yeah.
He could burn the Bengals secondary. So this is not a chalked up win. This could be a tough game. The one thing I will say, actually won't even say that, because I would say the Bengals, if it's a shootout that goes in favor of the Bengals, but no, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Nothing goes in favor of the Bengals. The Bengals offense needs to do what they do, because the Bears defense, that's what they're always known for. It's not good this year.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I hate that I'm about to say this. They have to win the turnover battle. I hate that. I have to say that because that's what every coach, and I hate when coaches say that. They got to win the turnover battle by 2 when they win. And you could do that against this Bears team. But I have no idea how this game's going. I do think the Bengals win, but I have no idea what it looks like.
I think based on the past 3 weeks, you want to be like, okay, well, I mean, they beat the Steelers, which had a great offense. It was a really great game, all this stuff. But then as soon as the Jets happened, you're like, anything's possible.
Yeah.
Any loss is possible. I think this one is a
But any loss has been possible for the Bengals since they've gone to the Super Bowl 5 years ago.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even the year that they went to the Super Bowl, it felt like any loss was possible.
I was including that
year. They just kept winning, yeah.
Any loss is possible with this Bengals team. Any win is possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got nothing. I think they should win.
Yeah.
They could lose by... This is the defining moment of the season, because when the Bengals have made their late season runs off of slow starts, they catch momentum, they catch fire, and they run with it. The win over the Steelers, that was the moment that the Bengals caught their fire.
Mm-hmm.
And normally, when they make these runs, they run with it. The loss to the Jets stopped them dead in their tracks. If the Bengals can find a way to get the momentum back, I think we're talking about a run towards the end. If they can't, I'm not buyers in this team anymore. Like, I just don't think there will be enough time.
Yeah.
I think a lot of things. It's an uphill battle. That this locker room has been demoralized this week. It's not been a fun place to be, which it shouldn't be. You have to just find a way to win.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Flacco-Yosevich thing was great, but I don't think it's going to come down to them. It's going to come down to the defense.
Mm-hmm.
Someone in that defensive room has to step up. Has to.
Yeah. I'm just like, in my head, I'm imagining like Geno Stone picking like the ball off.
Yeah, sure. He's a leader.
Yeah, no, and he is. And he's been great at interceptions. So I'm like, maybe we're seeing a Caleb lob up in the air that they're able to intercept. That's really the only way that I'm seeing.
I saw a TikTok this week, not even fact checking it, just saying it.
Oh, awesome.
I think they lost week 8, the Bengals, to the Jets, and then went to the Super Bowl. So maybe.
Yeah. And that is, I did fact check it. It is correct.
Cool.
However, I'm not sure that matters that much. So
whatever.
What's your score prediction?
See how excited I am to do this. Bengals 37, Bears 32.
Wow.
Yeah, why not? They can do that.
The Bengals can do that. I just don't think I've seen the Bears score more than
Have you seen the Jets do that before this week?
Well, yes.
32 points against the Steelers, exactly. Thanks for watching my report. Okay. Let's talk about a good football team, huh?
Yeah.
UC.
Oh, yep, that was the thing.
The Cincinnati Bearcats. Holy cow. 7 consecutive wins, 5-0 in the Big 12. This is their longest winning streak since the 2021 year when they went to the college football playoff. This is the first time in head coach Scott Satterfield's career that he's had a 7-game winning streak in the regular season. The Bearcats, perfect in conference play. Who have they played? One ranked team. But they are absolutely rolling. Brendan Sorsby. I've been saying it, and I'm saying it again. He is getting national attention, and he deserves it. He is an NFL caliber quarterback, and the word Heisman has been coming up. Conversations.
Not for odds, but I'm glad that the conversations are happening around here.
They're waiting for him to start winning.
Against Utah.
If you win against Utah, if you win against BYU. Yeah. Listen, if they're a college football playoff team, which is crazy that we can say that right now because they run their own path, he's going to be a finalist.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It was just a few weeks ago. I mean, Scott Satterfield was telling me today when we were talking that, like, he tells him to stay very even keel, and Sorsby does a good job of it because College Gameday was there doing interviews with them. That was fun. But Sorsby was doing like a little tour, I guess. I shouldn't say that, whatever. I said it. Satterfield said, which wasn't that long ago, where they were asking what was wrong with Brendan Sorsby. And now Brendan Sorsby is the man.
Mm-hmm.
He has 27 total touchdowns, 7 rushing, 20 passing.
And he has that one turnover from the first game.
1 interception. The offensive line's incredible. He's been sacked twice. Mm-hmm. And he's a mobile quarterback who's only been sacked twice. Usually you get some kind of stupid sack where he's like scrambling. Nope. He's a stud. Their wide receivers, every week it's a different one. The week before, we were said Cyrus Allen was quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, touchdown. What is he?
It's his 9th touchdown, leads the Big 12 right now.
Sick.
In passing touchdown or catching.
Respect the Big 12.
Yeah.
This Utah game's huge. All the cards are stacked against them. They're 17th. Utah's 25th?
24th.
24th.
Mm-hmm.
Going into the altitude, 10-15 game. They're going to still be playing with their body clocks at 2 a.m.
Ugh, 10-15 is terrible.
Yes. Satterfield was not happy.
Yeah, that's disgusting. Like a college game day game being on at 10-15. Get out of here.
Yeah, he was not thrilled about that when I asked him. He's like, whatever. Everything's stacked against them.
Yeah.
You go in there and you win this game, I think you're ranked top 12 now.
Yeah. And I mean, like, all eyes are actually on you this time. Because I think for a lot of these games, maybe Iowa State, but for a lot of these games, they are weird times. They are not, on TV at the prime times for us.
They've been having all 3:30 and noon games.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, for the nation, they're like, oh, I'd rather watch the Alabama game, or, oh, I'm going to watch
SEC Big Ten are still king.
Yeah, but I think, like, this is an interesting night game. People love a night game. There won't be as much on. And people are going to be tuned into this one more than anything else.
100%. And I think it all goes through Brendan Sorsby. Their run game is fantastic. The 1-2 punch between Tawee Walker and Evan Pryor. And if you haven't watched the Bearcats this year, you will love watching Tawee Walker play.
He's fun.
He just runs people over.
Where's he from? What?
Oklahoma to start, then he was at Wisconsin last year.
Wisconsin. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Luke Fickell giving some. Oh, Luke Fickell. Yikes. Yikes! Who would have thought 3 years ago we'd take Scott Satterfield as better than Luke Fickell?
I would have. Going to
You
Wisconsin
would.
or Nebraska is a pit that I don't wish on anybody. So
Okay, Taylor would have known. Should have asked her. Because you're famously a Scott Satterfield lover.
I am not a big Scott Satterfield girl. However, I could have told you that Wisconsin was going to be trouble
Yeah.
to work with.
So Tommy Walker, super fun. Evan Pryor, super fun. The wide receiver, super fun. I sat with Dante Corleone today. We were chatting. I love that kid.
Mhm.
He's the best. We'll hear much more from Dante. We're actually going to have him on next week. So we'll get into that. But one of the things that I loved asking him, and it just shows, like, this is so cliche, and I know that, but it's real. Dante's the All-American nose tackle, defensive tackle. He's been banged up this year. He's had some health stuff, but every offense for the opposing school plans for Dante Corleone. He's the and you see it when they're on the field. It's just the defense just looks different. They're tripling, quadruple teaming this man.
Mm-hmm.
Other people are getting sacks. Other people are making plays. Dante is not making a lot of plays this year because he's triple or quadruple teamed. When I asked him about that, he had the biggest smile on his face. He's like, I'm doing my job, man. I don't care. Dude, people know who Jake Goldday is now. They know who this one is. They know who that one is. Like, I'm doing my job.
Yeah.
I'm letting my teammates, my friends are getting to eat. This rocks.
Mhm.
We're winning. I've been through losing. When you have a locker room full of that, and he's a leader. Like, he's like the creme de la creme. But, like, the wide receivers are like that. The secondary's like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's winning football.
Yeah,
I know
everybody
that's so
eats.
corny, but everybody eats. You have something on here about the college football playoff?
I do, yeah. ESPN's Football Power Index, which who's to say how correct that is?
Nobody. Yes.
But they have the projection for UC to be 9-3, so 2 more losses on the season.
Okay.
And right now a 14% chance of making the playoffs.
So their path to the playoff would only be to win the Big 12 championship.
They have to win the Big 12.
So, in order for them to lose 2 more games, you would need BYU to lose to Texas Tech this weekend, because they still have. So they're saying they're going to lose to Utah and BYU.
Yeah, that's kind of what they assumed.
I think they go into Utah and win.
Yeah, I think they at least win one of them. I don't know.
BYU's in Cincinnati. I think. Want to call me crazy? I think they win both.
Okay.
I think they lose a different one walk away. Like they'll drop to like in Arizona.
Yeah.
Like they'll drop something stupid and they're going to be really upset about it. I think they beat Utah. I think they beat BYU. I think they take the Holy War and they said ours. And that's just my thought.
I have a question.
Nope.
College game day. Anyway, ignoring your nope. College game day is at Utah.
Yeah.
Then they'll go somewhere else. I think BYU comes the next week, not next week, but
22nd.
yeah, not this coming.
Bearcats have
but
a
the week
bye
after.
next week. Yeah.
Yeah. Would college game day come to Cincinnati if they already went to a UC
So I
game?
was hearing they were coming, and then this happened.
Mm.
So I don't know. Cincinnati would have to win. BYU would have to beat Texas Tech.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at the lineup for that week. It's not a lot of great games. So, like, there's still a chance, but I think it would happen if Cincinnati and Texas Tech both win.
Okay, because it
And if
feels
not, Big
less
Noon kickoff could
likely.
happen
It feels less likely due to
because of this. Yeah,
this.
I think there's a chance the Fox skirt comes.
Okay.
Or game day. They have to win, and BYU I think would have to win against Texas Tech. That's my thought.
Okay, because I think a lot of people want to see it.
Yeah. Yeah. Why not? Game day rocks.
I mean, this is the first game day no matter what since the college football playoffs.
Yeah. Big Noon kickoff came when Oklahoma came their first year in the Big 12.
Yeah, but this is the first college game day since 2021, and that game was at Cincinnati, but they were hosting Tulsa because it was about how good UC was.
Right, and they were in the AAC still.
But this is like, wait,
a great matchup.
huge matchup
Yeah.
between 2 good teams. So I'm interested to see.
And it's about time game day gives love to the Big 12.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk more Bearcats, hopefully for the rest of the season, because I love talking college football with them. Speaking of football, or as you say, football. Or football, MLS playoffs, hell is real. Game 1, Cincinnati, Columbus. What a story. FC Cincinnati wins 1-0. And Albus Powell, who scores the goal, comes off the bench. I think it was in the 70th minute.
Yeah.
8 minutes later, scores. Caleb Noah, the other sports anchor, did a nice story on his game wrap-up. So Albus Powell is Jamaican, and they're about to be hit with...
They are hit.
They are hit, excuse me. They are hit with a hurricane. And it seems like Albus's family's okay.
His whole family, as of the game, is okay, but the hit was on Tuesday, so unsure what's happening. He said that they were as safe as they could be, and he was hoping that they would be okay.
Really cool to see them win. Caleb's story was very nice. But FC Cincinnati up 1-0. It's a best of 2 or 3 series. They go to Columbus on Sunday. So Sunday's a huge Cincinnati sports day. You got that Bengals must-win game. You're probably, I'm going to count the Utah Bearcat game because that's going to go past midnight. And then a little nightcap, 6 o'clock kick in Columbus will be there too. Caleb will be there. I'll be at the Bengals game. And yeah, it's huge. If Cincinnati can close out against Columbus, and they would essentially get a bye week.
Yeah.
But they've had that before, and I feel like, all right, obviously you want to win and be done.
Yeah. Don't tell me you want them to lose.
No, but a bye week isn't good.
Yeah.
Not in soccer.
I mean, I think it's just because it's so long. It
turns
feels like decades.
Yeah, it's not football.
Yeah.
Well, yes, it is. I think it's exciting. I think.
And it was a great crowd last.
Great crowd.
Always.
The double tifo. You saw
it.
For those who don't know, tifos are the big flags before the game. Mm-hmm. The double tifo. I think it's Graham who does those. Graham's a good dude. We did a story with him once, a couple stories. He designs them. Great job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So FC Cincinnati, let's see. Could be really fun for the city if they could keep rolling.
Yeah, especially with like this new group of stars.
Yeah, it's fun to see Denke and Evander. And
it was Denke's first MLS playoff.
Yeah,
so
it's crazy. Let's get Haglund a ring for the Cincy kid. I like Roman Celentano's perfectly weird. Like he's their goalkeeper. Yeah. Is there anything you really want to touch on this upcoming matchup? Because I think going to Columbus is going to be very difficult.
Yeah,
to close out.
It's going to be hell.
That's real.
Yeah, it's going to be hell. But yeah, I'm hoping that they win because I don't want to see them go to 3 games.
Yeah, 3 games would be bad.
Yeah.
Because Columbus can and does win in Cincinnati. Cool. World Series?
Yes.
Well, unless there's more soccer you watch.
No, I know you love World Series. I want to let you have your moment to shine.
And that Game 3 was so good. We are so lucky. This World Series, we are so lucky to live in a time with Shohei Ohtani. We're like, do we ever just like take a moment and be like, wow, thanks. We live where Shohei Ohtani plays baseball. Taylor loves Shohei Ohtani. Okay. How good is Shohei Ohtani? I know Freddie Freeman hit the walk-off, and I know Yamamoto's the reason they won Game 2.
Freddie Freeman, can I just say, take your veneers out.
I'm not going to accept Freddie Freeman slander on this podcast.
I like Freddie Freeman, but when I was watching them celebrate...
Who has a better dance, Freddie Freeman or Shohei Ohtani?
Ohtani.
Yeah, Ohtani's smooth with it.
But when I was watching them celebrate this morning, because I did not stay up, I saw Freddie Freeman like smiling, and I went, oh, we have gotten veneers.
He's had those.
Yeah, but I had not seen them in such bright light until maybe it was because it was
the sun
early.
was coming up.
Yeah, maybe it was because it was early, but I looked at it and I went, oh my goodness. So the veneer epidemic needs to stop. And I'm asking Freddie to be the first person to step up to the plate.
Freddie's good.
Aside from Freddie.
I saw a tweet that was amazing. So I have Shohei Ohtani on Game 3 of the World Series got on first base 9 times. 9 times he reached base. 4 for 4 with 2 homers and 2 doubles.
Gosh.
The tweet that I loved, someone said, so Brian Schneider, not Brian Schneider, John Schneider.
John Schneider.
John Schneider.
What are you talking about?
The Blue Jays manager, John Schneider. He decided that every time that they were in extra innings, they were going to intentionally walk Shohei Ohtani.
Mm-hmm.
And he's choosing to walk Shohei Ohtani to face 8-time All-Star Mookie Betts and multiple National League MVP and last year's World Series MVP, Freddie Freeman. And the rest of America was like, yeah, makes sense.
No, yeah.
That's how good he is.
And in fact, I was like, you need to walk him sooner. Like, I was angry that they weren't walking him. Every time I would see him score, I'd be like, and why aren't we walking him, guys?
I think there should be a rule change for this because that game I think would not have gone 18 innings. The rule change should be, Manfred, listen to me. You should not be allowed to intentionally walk the same player multiple times.
Oh, I couldn't disagree more.
Oh, I love that rule.
I couldn't disagree.
Because you're using but then I think it changes defensive scenarios. It's like, am I going to use my one walk on Tommy Edman right now? I think it's a strategy move, and they're doing it to speed up the game. And
yeah, it's interesting, but like nothing brought me more joy than the Joe Madden walking Bryce Harper 12 times in a row during a game.
Sure.
So I'm like, but
I want to see I want to see stars make star plays.
You want to see the stars shine, and I understand that, and I'm saying no. I don't want to see Ohtani hit another home run.
Vladdy was a stud too.
Yeah, he was great.
Blue Jays, the defense in this game made no sense.
Yeah.
They couldn't make the easy plays. But then you had Tommy Edman at second base making Clayton Kershaw.
Clayton Kershaw saved the game for them.
It's like Clayton Kershaw said, I will be a bullpen pitcher for the last 4 games of my career. Yeah. Incredible. That he thinks it's going 4 more games. Interesting. Came in full count, 12th inning, bases loaded. 3 foul balls. Should have taken ball 4 and the game would have been over, but we're not going to say that. I just said it. Ground ball to Edman. Glove flip to Freddie Freeman at first. The line drive that hit off Freeman's glove. Edman backed it up, sliding down right field line, throwing him out of third. How many plays were there to the plate? How many relays? There were, 4 outs?
I was supposed to say 4 or 5.
It was nuts.
Because I'd be watching and I'd get the push alerts from the MLB app and it'd be like, you'll never believe this. And I was like, I'm watching it. I've seen 14 of them at this point.
Crazy. And Vladdy throwing across diamond for the 3rd out at 3rd. Beautiful. Sorry. I know. Well, by the next time we record, we will... Oh, actually, we may or may not be talking World Series because next week with the bye, we're going to have a different style of podcast. Okay, college hoops. Exhibitions mean nothing. That's what the note says, and I agree.
Yeah, exhibition games mean nothing, but there were some exhibition games.
Yeah, UC got whooped by Arkansas.
I mean, yeah.
Coach Calipari beat them good. Kentucky beats Purdue. You must be happy about that, or you could care less.
Exhibition games don't matter. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the most important thing, because I saw this note too, and you put it in there, and I saw this, and I'm like, this is kind of crazy, and our minds are at the same wavelength. Xavier announces 513 week for those listening outside of Cincinnati. 513 is the Cincinnati area code. Xavier announces 513 week for opening week. $5 beer, $1 popcorn, $3 water. What stands out here?
The way that I read it and I said, oh yeah, $1 water. And then I kept reading it over and over again and I was like, $3 water?
I mean, my energy is going to the mayor or governor's office and just saying, switch our area code to 112.
Yeah.
Or 211.
Yeah. I was just deeply offended. Like $5 beer, okay, I guess it's a little bit less, but it's still kind of outlandishly priced. $1 popcorn, okay, fine. But $3 water, just leave it off. Say $3 hot dogs or something. Don't say $3 water.
Yeah,
it's disrespectful to me.
I hear that.
As a Norwood resident, it is it's disrespectful for me.
Yeah. College hoops actually starts though.
Yes.
This coming week. Excuse me. Oof, that was gross.
Yeah, it'll be like next week.
Yeah. Bearcats, they host Western Carolina. Xavier hosts Marist. Kentucky hosts Nicholls State. I see a potential upset on that list.
Is it Xavier against Marist? Yeah.
Yes. The Red Foxes are always frisky.
Yeah.
Marist is frisky, and I don't know what the Xavier team is going to be. Like, a lot of the guys are players from New Mexico, where Richard Pitino was coming from, the head coach. But Marist isn't that far off from New Mexico. New Mexico is a better school than Marist, basketball-wise. I don't know.
We'll see.
I can't make a judgment on the Xavier team yet. I'm not high on them, but I would love to be proven wrong. Okay. Anything you want to talk about specifically college hoops?
No, I'm just so excited.
We have a lot to talk about once it starts because we got to feel it out first.
And of course, most of the local teams will be playing smaller schools for the first week.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kentucky plays Michigan State in the Champions Classic, but that's not until like the week after.
Yeah,
So
that should be
we
fun.
have some time to just watch them play.
And then we get into feast
Smaller
week and all that
schools,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Cincy dudes in the news. Not a crazy week, but a guy I do like to talk about. Indian Hill alum, I want to say. Yes, Indian Hill alum. Antoine Peak Jr. He's a semifinalist for the Jim Thorpe Award. Antoine Peak Jr. plays for UC, junior to Antoine Peak Sr., who was also a Bearcats legend.
Mm-hmm.
Junior is awesome. He's got a great personality, almost as good of a personality as his pops. Antoine Peak Sr. I see almost every week on the sideline at the UC games, and I go over, hey, Junior's doing great. It's good. He's such a nice young man, whatever. He goes, yeah, but he doesn't play like his pops, though. One of the things, though, that they're both, I want to know, like, how it happened. And I've asked them, and they both like, yeah, we worked on it. They're two of the best, like, in Cincinnati history at forcing fumbles.
Mm-hmm.
They just always try to punch the ball out.
Yeah. His stats for this year, 28 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, and 1 fumble recovery. He was a walk-on at UC.
Yeah.
And then became a scholarship player and now is in his redshirt junior year. So, I mean, it's like a Nepo baby, but it's a Nepo baby who actually worked really hard for what he got. So I love it.
And he was very good at Indian Hill, but just a good kid.
Mm-hmm.
Happy for him. And he's our Cincy dude in the news this week. Is that all we got this week?
I think so.
Okay. Well, thanks for hanging out. Like, subscribe. Please actually do it. Like, I know you're saying you would do it. Oh, yeah, whatever. You're in the car. You'll do it. You're on a hot girl walk. I get it. It takes 30 seconds and it makes Taylor happy. Relax. It's just sports. Thanks for hanging out.